Floss, citizen journalist, citizen protester, telling everybody what's going on in the world. Presently, we are witnessing in this year of 2022 the bring down of the Commonwealth that has been alive since the year 1688. Around about that time, we've had the Commonwealth, and we are witnessing the bringing down of the Commonwealth. There are 15 countries left. They're very focused on New Zealand. They're ready to take New Zealand down. They're taking down Canada. They're in Australia, going through Australia state by state. We know that there's some trouble in Scotland. We know there's trouble in Northern Ireland. They're trying to, they're using this bullshit decolonisation. Well, what they're going to do with us, they've decided to decolonise all our countries and take all the lands and put it under the lovely instrument of the United Nations. Now, one of the things that we've been noticing, there's been a lot of skullduggery, a lot of politicians' knaves going on around our flags is what's going on. So some people have been sending me some videos. I'm going to play the videos and we're going to go over the flags. Now, I don't know about Scotland. I haven't done Scotland. I haven't done Northern Ireland. But if they seem to have done this in all of our countries, so I'm pretty sure that there are some mysterious flags coming up in Scotland and some mysterious flags coming up in Ireland, and there's a lot of sneakiness going on around these flags. Now, why are flags important? Flags are important because the colours on the flag apply to the laws that country uses. So all of the Commonwealth countries have the Union Jack on our flags, and the Union Jack is the combination of the United Kingdom, Scotland, Northern Ireland and England joined together, and then New Zealand and Australia and various other countries are in there as well, where everybody has the Union Jack on their flag, and the Union Jack carries the 1688 Bill of Rights protections from cruel and unusual punishment, and constrains Parliament, constrains kings, and constrains the ecclesiastical leaders, all of these kinds of things. So this is an extremely important document, and it sits on the shelf of Her Majesty the Queen, who has dedicated her life to holding that. Her family are born into it. They don't have any choice about it. And I personally think that she's done a pretty good job. That's all. She doesn't get to control our governments. In fact, because of this 1688 Bill of Rights, and because of Her Majesty's the Queen's sacrifices, then that is why we get to have governments, because Her Majesty the Queen sacrificed herself and her mother before her, and her father before her, and his father before him, for thousands of years. So let's show you about these flags today, but we're going to get to the end. Everybody hang around for the end, because when we get to the end flag, we're going to be looking at this video that they're now putting out around the protests, and it's a terrible thing, and I want to tell you, it's really important for me to tell you about this. So we're going to start here. Somebody sent me this video here. And this video here, let's have a look what he says. He says, flying at Parliament, a flag representing a revolution, my Irish tipuna, which means my Irish ancestors, were a part of. The Eureka Stockade, a fight against oppression. Now, what I want to tell you is this flag first came out in Australia. It was called the Eureka flag, right? Put that over there. It was called the Eureka flag, and this flag was brought out in a protest. But if you know Australian history and New Zealand history, the original people that went to Australia was the Catholic Church, the Catholics and the Church Missionary Society, and they ruled with an iron thumb, with their whips, and the Irish people that went there were all convicts, and they would be sent there for stealing a loaf of bread, and they would get 7 years in prison, So they would go to Australia for 7 years in prison, and when they finished their prison sentences, they weren't able to afford to go home. So most of them never got to see their country again. It was a very sad situation. So this was the flag. It's actually, if you look here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. And this was actually the missionary flag. And he's saying that this is of his Irish. But we have to remember that we're in the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth is Northern Ireland, but not Southern Ireland. Southern Ireland wants a Catholic republic. Northern Ireland wants a free Protestant country where they can be in control of their own souls. So this would probably be considered to be a Southern Catholic Ireland flag. So I want to just show you the flags here. Now, they're flying this at the protest in New Zealand and Australia. I wanted to show you some of the flags. Now, the original Australian flag, which is here, I think I can show these. Oh. The original Australian flag was red with a white, so it was red with a white ensign, which this white area is called the ensign, and it had the stars of the Southern Cross, which were here, okay? So this was the St. George Cross, and then it had the United Kingdom in here, which is Scotland, Northern Ireland, right? But this was actually a missionary star. Then they changed it because in flag heraldry, I just want to tell you something about flag heraldry, the colours. White and yellow are both called or, O-R, and the white and the yellow are considered to be interchangeable. You can either use white or you can use yellow. And then like blue can't be next to black and blue can't be next to purple. Some colours can't, in flag heraldry, some colours can't be next to each other, all right? So the red was called gules, G-U-L-E-S, and red with the 8-point star was used by the missionaries, and it was the 8-point star for the nobles and for the religious leaders is what they used. And red was used by the nobles as well. And but later they changed it to be blue. Now the blue is in fact the colour of the commoners. So blue represents, whenever you see the Queen wearing blue, that represents the commoners. So this flag here, the Union Jack, is the canton, and that signifies the governance that your country uses. Not every country uses the same governance. Now, we are governed by a constitutional monarchy, which means that she holds our constitutional Bill of Rights, and we have a parliament that is governed by ourselves. And if the parliament doesn't toe the line, we have the right to complain to the Majesty if it's not upholding our Bill of Rights. So that's what the canton means. Some countries are ruled by Islamic things, so they have an Islamic canton and so on and so on. So the next flag here was in 1835, right? Now, New Zealand knows about our 1835 flags. The first one was 1825. So the next one come in 1835. And then you'll see here that they've got the 5 stars here. And what someone did here, this is called the Eureka flag. And I think that this was generally an uprising against the British, against the Protestant laws, because all they've done is they've removed the canton and they've left only the stars, which is the missionaries. the missionary stars and the cross with the blue. So I would say that this uprising was backed by the, can we say, the Catholic Church without getting into trouble? Now, then eventually got 1901, they got the red flag, and then in 1901 they also got the blue. The red was the shipping flag, and the blue was their people's flag with the laws of our country in the left-hand canton. Now, around about 1995, now you'll understand, New Zealand is having a lot of trouble with flags. We all are having trouble with flags, and I'll show you in a minute. Now, in 1995, they came up with this so-called Aboriginal flag. And the Aboriginal flag is black with red and a yellow sun. Now, it would never be permitted, the flag design probably wouldn't be permitted in correct flag heraldry because the black can't be seen. As you can see, black in the night time, you wouldn't see the black, but it is actually looks like this. So that looks like that one there. Now, all these flags here are in the public domain, and that means that nobody pays any royalties when they purchase products with these flags. Nobody pays any royalties to the government for the design of the flag. However, this flag here the Aboriginal flag was designed by a commoner, and every single product that has got this flag on it gives a royalty to this man. So this man here is called Harold Thomas, and Harold Thomas designed this flag. Now, Harold Thomas, he tried to sell the flag to Google. A girl wanted to do some kind of a show, and they wanted to put it up as an ad on Google, and he tried to get Google to pay him millions of dollars for the flag, and Google turned him down. Right, so this flag is not a parliamentary flag like these. They're very different, and it has no parliamentary power, and it has no constitutional power. But you know what it does have? It does have a copyright status. Every time you purchase any product with this flag on it, this man here is going to get a royalty. Right, so that's why they're promoting it. Now, he reckons he's an Aboriginal, but I mean, you see, look at him. He's reckoning that his father and his mother were both Aboriginals. That's what he's reckoning. You can see him here. He's tiny little bit darker. They've tried to put him in a dark shirt and a dark hat to make him look darker, is what they've done. This is him. I'm not sure if this is him or not, or it might be someone else. But anyway, yes, it is him. He's a tiny little bit darker. But I want to show you the Aboriginal people, the actual Aboriginal people. Actual Aboriginal people. And what you'll see here, I have to go quickly. So the Aboriginal people, you can look at them. They're very dark-skinned. And these are Aboriginal, she's probably, I don't know how she got eyes like that, but do you see the Aboriginal people? They're quite dark-skinned, extremely. They're all kind of like this. Someone's put up a thing. So you can see that they are very dark, actually. And then you get people like him, and he's claiming that he's an Aboriginal, and he reckons he's got an Aboriginal mother and an Aboriginal father. Well, I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is this. He ended up selling the flag. He just sold this flag to the Australian government for a couple of $1 million so that probably the true Aboriginals can use the flag and not pay royalties every time they want to use it. So I'm just saying to you, these flags aren't designed by the tribes. They're designed by people who they have no constitutional value. They are not bound to any laws or any constitutions. And the people that designed them are making millions of dollars off the royalties. Every time you purchase a product with one of these flags, you are sending royalties to one of these. Now, they've got them in the New Zealand tribes, they've got them in the Canadian tribes, and the people that are getting the royalties 99% of the time are not actually tribal people. The tribes never had flags. Why didn't they have flags? Because they didn't have reading and writing. And since they didn't have reading and writing, they didn't have courts of law. Since they didn't have courts of law, they didn't have flags with constitutional cantons in them. The natives of our countries never had flags. They had like totem poles and didgeridoos and things like that, shells that they blew the whistles out of, but they didn't have a flag. So let's get real here, people. I don't know why they're saying you want to go back to the culture when, let's face facts, they're telling you to fly a flag. Now, the Canadian flag here, the Canadian flag, the original Canadian flag this was the very original Canadian flag in 1965. So Canada must have got taken later, but Canada got their flag in 1965. And then later, in 1867. 1867, they got this flag until 1965. And then after that, they changed it to a Canadian with a red ensign, but at this time, they still had the canton. Now, as long as they've got that canton sitting on that flag, you still are protected by the 1688 British Bill of Rights, and you still are protected by British law. When that canton, so we all still have our cantons, all of us, these countries here, but look here, America's not in there and Canada's not in there anymore. They have removed their canton, which means British law is completely gone from their country, and they're trying to get it gone from our country, but I don't think the natives are really understanding what happens when the canton is removed. When you go republic, they're trying to get you to sign up to an American constitution where you are inalienable people in your own country. So with this flag, you're not aliens in your own country. You native people are the owners of your country. Soon as you go under those American Bill of Rights, you become inalienable people, and inalienable United Nations will come in and take over the governance of all of your native people. So just be careful about removing that British canton, because I'm telling you something, it means a lot. They're saying it doesn't mean anything. Now, eventually Canada decided to change their flag by this group of people here, which will probably involved with one of the churches, and they started out with this one, and they put the crown on there for a little while, I suppose. They ended up getting this one here, and apparently it had 13 points on the leaves, but I can't find the 13 points, but it's got many points. And then it got changed eventually. See, then it got changed to be this one here, and then it got to be changed to be eventually this flag here, which has got 11 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It got 11 points. And at this time, they no longer have their British canton. You see, they really do trick you, because they originally give it where you get your canton and you think that you're still part of the constitutional law. And then they sneakily just kind of, when you're not noticing it, they wait for a generation. And when nobody's noticing, they remove the canton. And people don't really know what the canton means. And then you end up being like a country like New Zealand, where you've got an unwritten constitution. And like, I don't know if Canada's got a constitution, but you get this unwritten constitution. And then before you know it, they've removed your Bill of Rights. Your 1688 Bill of Rights has been removed. And before you know it, you've got an unregulated government that can write laws every 5 minutes and you can't stop them. And that is all because you have allowed the canton to be removed from your Commonwealth country. We need the protections of the Commonwealth, and we need to stand strongly together. Now, after that, we're almost at the end now. Then after that, now the original native flag that apparently they had in Canada for many, many years was an Indian chief and the 2 red on the side there, protected, which means that they had the native people that were protected by the governance of the Canadian government, right? Then they came along just in 2014, and they've come up with this new flag. Now, these flags are copyrighted, and when they promote them, every single time it's put on a product, there is a royalty paid to the family of this man called Curtis Wilson. Apparently he died. So it goes to his family, the royalties of this flag, all right? And if you look here, now he's got another name at the beginning, and it's very Islamic, and that looks like Islamic text to me, this one here and the dot and this one here. It actually looks like Islamic text, and I'm very suspicious of this flag, extremely suspicious. There are just people all around our English-speaking countries determined to infiltrate, decolonize, get rid of the white man and take over all of the natives. That's what they're planning on doing. And we all better start realising what these sneaky little buggers are up to, because it ain't good. Now, they also ended up coming up with all these flags. I'm noticing that they're giving all of our native tribes homosexual flags. And why? Now, they've done this to our New Zealand Maori. Our New Zealand Maori, they gave them one with a tongue coming out that is in a rainbow, and that is the homosexual Maori flag. And now we've got the homosexual Canadian flag, the two-spirited people, another homosexual, all designed by, I just don't think that we should be doing this to our native people. Their populations are small enough, and to be teaching their children that they should be homosexuals is not going to be good for their populations. You should, if you do have to be in a homosexual. Well, you have to be, don't you? But we don't have to be teaching that to our children. What the United Nations has done around about 2014 has given every single tribe a flag. Now, when you give every single tribe a flag and you're getting them to set up their own governance structure with no canton in their flag, you take away their constitutional law that protects them, and you leave them naked in the jungle with their customary law that is weak and is often overpowered by the people that seek to take over their countries. Now, the Majesty did come in and take over their countries, but she gave them constitutional law to protect them. And now they're trying to get all of the natives out of the constitutional law so that they can get the native people into the government, and all the lands and corporations will be managed by the American corporation, the Queen of Corporation in America, but all of your rights are going to go under the United Nations, and you will have no power. So these flags are a double-edged sword, and what I'm just going to say to all the natives is that you never had flags, all right? The flags are almost evil for you, but not all flags. Now, I will go to a little bit about our New Zealand Maori, but I'm not going to talk because we've been fighting over the flags. But if you want to know what flag to fly, New Zealand Maori were given, our New Zealand Maori were the only tribe in all the Commonwealth countries, all the Commonwealth English-speaking countries. Our New Zealand Maori, a few of them in the Northern Island, were actually given a flag by the English king. But look here, it also has a canton, and the canton has the St. George's Cross, and the St. George's Cross is, you can see the white is the reflection of the white ensign, and the St. George's Cross is the constitutional law that this flag flies under. So that's the difference between these flags. These flags here are not holding any constitutional laws of protections, all right? All they hold is a copyright law of royalties, where every time you purchase a product with that flag on it, you pay royalties to the owner of that flag. Whereas this one that was given to our New Zealand Maori is constitutional, and there are no royalties paid. It is in the public domain, as is our blue flag here. Now, the Maori at the moment are they're flying this flag here with the 8-point star and the black around here. And why is this? They made it very close to this one so that they could deceive our New Zealand Maori. But the truth is, this flag here, they can't make any money from it. There are no royalties. Anybody can take this flag and put a picture of it on their t-shirt, and you don't have to pay any royalties to it. It belongs to you, New Zealand people. But anybody that purchases a product with this flag, there is somebody in the background collecting royalties on it. Every time you purchase a product, it's going to be giving a royalty to this people, whoever they are. So that's why they want you to use this one. So that's what the sneaky thing that they've done to our New Zealand natives. But we'll talk about that later in another video. But I got this video today all right? And then this man here has, I wonder if I put that up there. All right, I can just talk from here. So this man here has told you, have a listen to what he says. I'll let you all see.
G'day folks. I wanted to send a message to people who were protesting, for want of a better term, in Canada, Australia, New Zealand and elsewhere around the world. I've seen a lot of video footage of what they're doing, and I think they are making one very grave potential error.
Now, I just want to mention to you, just to make sure that everybody's clear, this is in our country of New Zealand, or I'm not sure, it might be either New Zealand or, no, it's in New Zealand, in Auckland, and this is called the Tigray community. Now, what we've got in our country of New Zealand, the Tigray community are an Ethiopian group, and they're protesting our New Zealand government because rather than protesting their own government in their own country, they want the New Zealand government to go to Ethiopia and save all their people in Ethiopia because their government is attacking all their people. And why is their government attacking all their people? Because you only have to look at their flag and see. They removed the British from all over Africa. And so they removed all of the so-called colonists. And when they removed all the colonists, their governments went rogue and have been attacking them, killing them, putting them in the prison, and there's no constitutional law on their flag. So their governments changed the laws. So this is their flag. So many of the protesters are flying flags from Israel, demanding that New Zealand go and save Israel. We've got them flying Palestinian flags, demanding that the New Zealand government go and save Palestine. We've got them flying Iranian flags, demanding that the New Zealand government go and save the Iranians. And, you know, I mean, we're just a small country. So all of these people are pushing these protests. And these people want our government out so that they can take over.
And that is in the nature of the flags they're flying. So everyone has said that these protests need to be peaceful, and all they want to do is speak with the other side. Okay, well, if that's the case, you don't want to fly the Canadian maple leaf, you don't want to fly the Australian blue ensign or the red ensign or the Eureka flag, and you don't want to fly the New Zealand national flag.
So this is very interesting. This is interesting that he has said this. He says, don't fly the Canadian flag, don't fly the Australian flag, and he's given the 3 varieties. Don't fly the New Zealand flag. That's what he's saying. But you know what he didn't mention? He didn't say, don't fly the Ethiopian flag. So he's about to, if you listen to him, he's about to say to you that we should no longer fly our national flags. Well, what do our national flags hold? The left canton holds our constitutional law, which is the 1688 Bill of Rights. The minute that canton is removed and you stop flying it, your constitutional law is gone and you're going to be left with an Ethiopian government if that's what you want. So I'm saying to you, fly the flag. Listen to him, what he says next.
If you're a peaceful protest, and if you want parley, and if you want to put those who are opposing you in a position of committing a war crime, if they should take violent action against you, then there is a...
Now you see, once again, rather than posting up our flags, he's posted up this picture of these Ethiopian protesters protesting that our New Zealand government go to their country of Ethiopia and save their people from their government. So I'm very suspicious of this man, and I'm very suspicious of this video. And have a listen next. So he's really obviously promoting this protest, the Thai Grey community.
Only one flag to be flying.
That's what you see what he's got. He's got this picture up here, and listen to what he says. There's only one flag to be flying. You see, he's got a picture here. Now he's going to go and show you a different flag in a minute, but it is significant that he's got an Ethiopian flag up there, an Ethiopian community causing trouble in my country of New Zealand. They should all be deported, to be honest. And he's saying these words, there is only one flag to be flown. And listen to what he says next.
And that's the white flag. The white flag is the flag of peace, it is the flag of truce, and it is the flag of parley. And to attack someone who's flying, who marches under a white flag is a war crime. So if anyone out there sees this and has the ability to get in touch with people who are organising these protests, what they need to do is tell all those people who are there to get rid of all their national flags, all their alternative flags, and to tie one thing only to the flag poles they're carrying, and that is a white flag if you've got it, but anything white will do. Just fly the white flag. It has the potential to protect you from violence because it creates a legal paradigm for those who would like to perhaps take more violent action against protesters.
Now, I've just been reading documents about this United Nations Bill of Rights that they're trying to get into our countries of New Zealand, Australia and England and other countries in the Commonwealth. They're trying to bring in the United Nations Bill of Rights, and they're bringing it in on a paradigm into trying to connect it up to our 1688 Bill of Rights. Now, our 1688 Bill of Rights protects our Protestant law, and they're trying to bring it in on a paradigm. And what they're trying to do is get rid of our national identity. And he's saying that the people that want to commit violence at the protests, meaning all of the immigrants and refugees flying those other flags that are thinking about committing violence to get our governments out, he's saying if you fly the white flag, if you dump your national flag and you fly this white flag, nobody's going to attack you. I take that as being a threat. So he's basically saying if you fly the white flag of surrender and you remove your national flag of constitutional law, then the people at the protests will not attack you. Now, I take that to be a threat to our nations, to be honest.
So if you want to parlay, you need a white flag. If you want to tell the whole world that you're there for peaceful purposes, you need the white flag. This is very important. I can't stress how important this is. And it has the potential to protect you from violence because it will place those who would like to start something violent in a dilemma, in a bind. It is a war crime to attack someone who comes under a white flag.
Well, now, who's going to be attacking the protesters? Nobody's attacking the protesters. The protesters are fine down there. They did get a bit attacked, but they were doing plenty of attacking themselves. Now, if you put down this flag, if you put down your constitutional flag, then you're basically saying, I surrender. He's saying it doesn't mean that, but it does. Whenever you were in a war, you would put down your flag. The colours of the flag are your identity of your nation. And what you would do is you would put down your flag and you would raise the white flag which says, I surrender to your country and you can take me over. all right? And so if you put down your constitutional flag, with the Union Jack canton, if you put it down, you're saying to the police, I'm no longer standing under my constitutional law and my rights. I'm giving all of my rights over to you to do with me what you will. And I am worried about who he's meaning. He shows the Ethiopian flag and the immigrants with their flag, and then he orders our people to put down their national flag and raise their white flag. I'm very suspicious of this video.
Anyway, hopefully someone out there will see this and pass it on to people who know the people who know the people who know the people who can make an announcement at some of these protests and let the people know that there's only one flag they should be flying, and that's the white flag. It's not the flag of surrender, it's the flag of peace and the flag of truce, the flag of non-violence, the flag of parley. If, as far as I can tell, all the protests in every country say they want to be peaceful and all they want to do is speak with the other side. Great. The perfect flag for doing that you should be marching under is the white flag. So if you can, please pass this on. Okay, see you folks. Just as an addendum.
So I just wanted to show you the meaning of the white flag. And here it is here, white flag. What is its meaning? It is the flag that is waved to show that you accept defeat or do not intend to attack. Now, we all know for hundreds of years, thousands of years, what this flag means. When you fly the white flag, I'll see if I can find anything else with the white flag. White flag, Wikipedia. White flags have different meanings throughout history. It is the truce, the ceasefire. It's got a different meaning here. All right, I don't want to do that because I want to get out of here, but you can go and look yourself. The white flag in the Merriam-Webster, it says it is a token of surrender. And the second meaning is that it is a token of weakness or of yielding. So if you've got that, the white flag is a token of weakness. The white flag is a token of yielding, that you're laying down your flag of colours, your constitutional flag, and you're holding up this flag and you're saying, I surrender to you. I am yielding. All right? So that is another meaning in the Merriam dictionary. In the another dictionary here, an all-white banner or a piece of cloth used as a symbol of surrender. Used as a symbol of surrender. In the Collins English Dictionary, a white flag or a piece of cloth hoisted to signify surrender. Okay, so the Americans also call it a surrender. Surrender, surrender. So that's down there. Any more there? The Britannica dictionary says that it's a flag to say that you are ready to stop fighting, to indicate that you have been defeated. Ground troops wave the white flag after the battle. They raised the white flag after the results came in. So we raise the white flag when we're ready to surrender. I wonder if there's any images of the white flag. So, no more fighting, I give up, I surrender. Oh, yeah, so he did get this here, but the Indian and Pakistan were accusing each other of misusing the white flag in the border skirmish. So anyway, there is the white flag, and it signifies that you've given up and that you surrender. So I'm going to be asking all of because I am an influencer, and I'm going to be using my influencing to you, and I would like to influence all the people of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. Fly your constitutional flag with the British canton. And what does the canton signify? The canton signifies constitutional restraint to Parliament. That's what it signifies. Constitutional restraints on Parliament, constitutional restraints on kings, queens, majesties, ecclesiastical leaders, priests, popes, everything. That is what the British canton means. So fly the flag, and whatever you do, do not listen to the influencing of Kate Floss, and I'm influencing you not to fly the white flag. Don't be an idiot. Kate Floss signing out. Finish like this, don't I? Hang on, get my